Good morning. Throughout my career as a musician, I have had the privilege of studying with some of the finest music educators that there are. And I probably would not be where I am today if it wasn't for the knowledge passed down to me through these fine people. However, in my musical journey as a student, there was also a lot of just downright stupid information that was taught to me. So that's what this video is about. We're gonna go over the dumbest things that I was taught as a music student. Okay, we're gonna see what words of wisdom that this drummer has for us, but first, if you haven't done so already, make sure that you click that subscribe button, ring that Liberty Bell, and click that like button. And make sure you stay tuned all the way to the end, because these stories get dumber and dumber as they go, and the last one is just so stupid. So number 5, the least dumb of the dumbness. This story actually takes place when I think I was in middle school, probably around 12 or 13 years old. So our school district had all these guest clinicians come in and teach us a little bit about specific instruments, which that was super cool that my school district did that. I know a lot of schools probably don't do that, but we did. So all of the percussionists in the school district, we went into this room, and the guest artist clinician, he starts setting up his drum set, and I noticed that he has a double bass drum pedal. Now at this point in time, this is when I first started playing double bass drum, and I got really excited because I never actually had a double bass drum lesson. So I was very intrigued to see where this was gonna go. So we start this class, and the guest artist starts talking about his drum setup, why he uses double pedal, how it worked for him, and then we start talking about rudiments, all very good stuff. Everything's going well so far. And I remember he actually broke down how to play a flam tap from slow to fast to slow, and at that point I had never seen anyone rip a flam tap that fast. It was pretty impressive. This was all going really, really well until he said this.
Something that I live my life by as a drummer is the concept that everything that you can play with your hands, you should be able to play with your feet too.
Really? Really, dude? Everything that your hands can play, your feet should play. Everything. Really. Even little 13-year-old me was skeptical about this. Because if this was true, then why the heck weren't we practicing double bass drum at every single drum lesson at the school? I knew this was kind of a bullcrap statement. But then, one of the teachers actually got up and asked,
Miss Linda here. So, a question. So the flam taps that you demonstrated, you can play that with your feet too?
Yeah, I can play flam taps with my feet. Yeah, totally.
Bro, that does not even count. You played it 3 beats per minute.
I didn't really develop that skill, but yeah, you should be able to play all your rudiments with your feet.
Oh, okay.
You just pretty much debunked the thing you just said. You can't play everything that your hands can with your feet. It doesn't make any sense to do that. The only kind of exception with that is for speed metal drummers. They're gonna have to work out the single strokes and double stroke rolls with their feet as fast as their hands can play. But even the best of those best speed metal drummers, I don't think any of them can cover an entire DCI snare drum INE solo with their feet. Okay, so this next story takes place, I was a little bit older at this point in time, and I was getting ready to march drum corps, and I told one of my educators about this idea. Yeah, I really want to march a DCI corps this year. I'm definitely going to try out for one. It should be really fun.
Oh, well, yeah, you really shouldn't march drum corps, because I went to school with this one guy, and he marched drum corps, and it was too much for him, and he had to take 2 years off of school. So drum corps is going to set you back in life.
Once again, even though I was kind of young, I still knew that this was a bullcrap statement. And this teacher who said that, he was a very nice guy, I liked him a lot, but he never marched or did anything with the drum corps activity, so I don't know how he would know this. And that's kind of a common theme in a few of these stories is people who don't know about drum corps telling me not to do it, and I don't listen to them. Okay, story number 3. I actually just realized that each of these stories is happening at a time when I was older, so the more old I got, the dumber teaching got. This is just how this worked out. So we had a guest clinician come into our school, another drum set player. So this guy comes in and he's also playing on a double bass drum pedal. I wonder if it was the same dude that taught that class in middle school. This was 10 years past that point, so I didn't recognize him. Now it's 10 years from that last class, so Maybe it was the same guy, I don't know. So the theme of this class was pretty much like how to like set up the drum set in a natural way and be comfortable while playing and stay relaxed in order to avoid injury. Because yes, injury is a pretty serious thing with drummers, you know, it's a very repetitive motion playing the drums, so you want to try to avoid carpal tunnel or tendonitis like as best as you possibly can. So this seemed like a pretty useful class, so we start talking about technique.
Like holding the stick, you gotta really think about technique here, because this is the right way to hold the stick. Real relaxed, like with the big old gap right there. That way, like, I'm not squeezing or anything. But like, people that march in a drum line and drum corps, they hold the stick all tight and you're squeezing. And if you march in a drum line, you're gonna hurt yourself. Drum corps is wrong.
Yeah, this actually kind of became like a joke at my school after he said that. I would be like, oh, I got drum corps camp this weekend, but drum corps is wrong. I'm such a rebel. I'm doing the wrong things. Oh, man. And once again, I knew that this was total bullcrap at the time, and even more now, I still know that it's bullcrap, because I've been marching drum corps for like 15 years, and I have been fortunate enough to not ever have an injury. And he was totally wrong about the technique. Like, holding your hand like this, that doesn't mean you're playing tight or squeezing. Like, I'm literally just like holding my hand in a different way. Like, it's fine. Obviously, death gripping the stick, no matter how you're holding it, like concert grip or marching grip, if you're like squeezing the crap out of the drumstick, yeah, you're gonna increase your chances of getting an injury. Story number 2 is from a time that I was in an ensemble. So we were playing through this piece, it was pretty new to us. We only had like a couple of rehearsals on it so far, so we're practicing this section. The director cuts and calls me out for being too loud. So we go back, we start the section again, I play quieter, then he stops again and calls me out again for being too quiet. Oh yeah, getting called out totally sucks, I hate it. But this is kind of like what happens in an ensemble rehearsal. And sometimes being in the back of the band playing percussion, yeah, you can't really hear it in front of you, so you gotta get told what to do. And I did the old overcorrect, alright? I did too much of an adjustment. Now, here comes the stupid part. After the rehearsal ended, his teacher comes over to me individually and says,
"Okay, listen up here. I think that drum corps is seriously negatively affecting your ensemble listening abilities. You know, you should really consider quitting drum corps and focus more on your studies."
Bro, this has like nothing to do with me marching drum corps. Like, I got a comment, I overcorrected. Like, that was the end of it. And once again, this was somebody who like never had any experience with drum corps, trying to tell me that drum corps was wrong, that I should stop doing it because it's making me a worse musician somehow. So yeah, drum corps is just like a totally different style than classical concert percussion. And I think it's your job as educators, this is a call out to all educators here. It's your job to inform the students on the difference between the ensembles, not to tell them to not do an ensemble. Like, that's just dumb. Alright, we're getting fired up here. We're at the number 1 story, and thank goodness this one wasn't about like someone telling me not to do drum corps. This was just this really idiotic situation. So we heard about this masterclass that was happening at a different school about excerpts, and the professor running this masterclass was really well known. And I was working on a whole bunch of excerpts in my lesson, so I thought this would be a pretty useful class to go to and get some good quality feedback.
Hello there, fellow kids! I'm Professor Chip Tooth, and today I have a revolutionary new way that you can practice your excerpts.
Ooh, revolutionary. Wow.
Okay, so as you can see on the screen up here, I have a brand new program called Audacity. Ooh, and this is absolutely amazing technology here. You can use this to record yourself and listen.
So those of you who may not know, Audacity is a free music editing software. It covers all your basic audio editing needs, and this was something that I had been using for many years. I think like since I was in high school, I had been using this program.
I can play this back and hear what I just did.
So this was a serious like okay boomer moment. This guy just discovered what Audacity was. Like, really, this is your revolutionary way of doing excerpts?
But we can take it a step even further here. We can add some effects onto this. And let's see what this sounds like, shall we? That was really loud!
He literally just kept amplifying it by like 50 decibels over and over again. I'm surprised the speakers didn't explode from that.
Whoa!
Finally, the teaching assistant or whoever came over the intercom and told him to knock it off.
I think you're just constantly amplifying the sound of that. Yeah, you should probably stop doing that. Seriously, I have no idea what I'm doing.
That's basically what this whole masterclass was. He was just calling like one student up, they would play their excerpt, listen to what they just played, get a little bit of feedback from him, maybe?
Okay, you heard what you did. Let's get the next person up now.
Okay, thanks, I guess.
I don't know, this was not a very productive class and seemed kind of silly. But then I had a brilliant idea here.
A good, effective, practical idea for what we can do with this class.
Okay, so I have an idea here. I'm gonna play 2 different stickings for you, and then we'll listen and see which one is more consistent sounding. Yep, and that's how you can effectively record yourself through Audacity and get better at excerpts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yes, recording yourself is like a good, like, useful tool to do to figure out like how you actually sound. I wouldn't say it's a good masterclass to have. If you have a room full of like professors and peers that are listening to you, yeah, you don't need to record it and listen to it back. Just listen to their advice. And also, you don't need Audacity to do that. Like, we had smartphones back then. It was like 2011. Like, you could record yourself on your phone. You don't need to set up a computer and a microphone and do all that. Like, just use your phone. Like, it's way easier. Boomer.
Seriously, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Okay, so those are all the stupid stories I have for you. I guess the moral of this is to listen to your educators, but still question everything that is said, because sometimes what is said is very stupid and makes no sense. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you click that subscribe button, and ring that Liberty Bell, and click that like button. And also consider buying a custom t-shirt, such as this one. I will leave that link in the description. And have a good morning.